Welcome back to my channel. This is the best place to learn how to make yourself a priority and set boundaries that stick so you can step into center stage of your own life. Today, I am sharing my 3 biggest myths that people have about boundaries. So before I even dive into the myths, I want to take a moment here and just have you consider for yourself what comes up for you when you hear the word boundaries. What I know from coaching thousands of people is that often the first impulse people have around boundaries is that they are restrictive or restraining, or they are in some way depriving. I want to show you how boundaries can be expansive. Boundaries are actually the way that we decide, that we determine what we will or will not do, will or will not tolerate, will or will not accept. Boundaries are our own personal limits. And so if we are living in alignment with our boundaries, we are carefully choosing and consciously curating the content of our own lives. And that is what I'm here to help you do. Live life on your own terms. So the 3 biggest myths I see most people believe about boundaries are: 1, that other people cross our boundaries. Simply not true. If my boundary is being crossed, I am the one crossing it. And just breathe and let that sink in for a moment. How many times I have heard from clients who say, I set a boundary, but so-and-so keeps crossing it. The truth of the matter is that if your boundary is being crossed, you are the one crossing it. Myth number 2 is that boundaries require someone else to do something different, and that is not true either. So when you set your boundary, it's not about expecting or even wanting or needing anyone else to behave any differently. The onus is on us, not someone else. And the 3rd myth I hear all the time about boundaries is that it's up to other people to respect your boundaries. And again, not true. So it is your responsibility to know your boundary, to have clarity around it, and to uphold it. So it's not anyone else's job to honor, respect, or uphold my boundary. It's only mine. So what this does, by busting these myths, what this does is it puts us in the seat of power. We give up the victimhood and the blame, and we move into responsibility and empowerment when we set and hold our own boundaries. So if you want to know how to have boundaries that will not be crossed, take responsibility back into your own hands, knowing that you have what it takes to get clear about your own limits, to set the boundary, and to uphold it. What that means is, in setting the boundary, you're also getting clear on what you need to do to take good care of yourself in the process. I love talking about boundaries. I could do it forever. And in fact, I'll be back here soon with another video on boundaries. But in the meantime, be sure you are subscribed to my channel. Click the notification bell to be alerted when I post a new video. And I will be back with you again next week.